Hello everybody, and welcome back to the range. Tom here, and today we're doing a challenge build, another one I should say. And we are doing this Model T, 1921 Model T. Oh, I sent Paul to a Diecast graveyard an exact copy of this car. So let's see what he comes up with, and let's check out what I got going on. This casting I ended up getting two, and I got both of them from my dad. He just kind of gave them to me and said, do what you want with them. I was like, hey, no problem. I already had a good idea of what I wanted to do with it. And, I threw a challenge out to Paul over Diecast Graveyard. So, when his is out, you should go over and check his out, because I'm really looking forward to seeing what he came up with. He picked the theme. The theme was hot rod delivery, I think is what it was. It was really difficult for me to try to come up with some kind of delivery, but when I seen Model T on it, I thought about old school paddy wagon police vehicles. And the way I see it, it's technically a delivery vehicle, the way I seen it. So hopefully by the time I get this put out and posted, he'd have his up and going or whatever, and maybe started. But he's been really busy, and I understand, so I'm giving him time to work on his. So me, I had to start on mine. I wanted to get it going with my ideas in my head. And what I intend to do this originally kind of didn't work out the way I was hoping, so I had to go a different route. The paint didn't come all the way up. That was okay. I ended up taking a wire brush and all kinds of stuff to it. Ended up cutting some of it up. I was wanting to make it to where the rear doors opened, where you can open and close, but it just had too much in the back to deal with. So I decided to cut the back half completely off. And I had to go through and replace my Dremel tool piece, because the blade, the Dremel tool wheel actually kind of was busted. But that was alright. I had another one laying around that I grabbed up, and I just kind of finished what I was doing. I had to, what I originally planned on doing, like I said, was using the back half of it, cutting the doors off, and ended up making it a C cab, which I really like that style of how it looks. It gives it that old school look. And I was determining what I was going to do to kind of smooth it out. But the way I was going, honestly, I thought I wasn't going to make it pretty. I was not going to end up making it look like a brand new show car. Because think about it, 1921 Model T mostly are barn finds that you see nowadays. You don't really see any in like pristine condition very often. And most of the time people try to make them back to the original color, which back in that time the only color they had was black. So I ended up going more of a grayish color, trying to give it that old look. After I'd already grinded out and, did what I had to do on the cab, I started working on the base. I started off with making the bed portion of it to build up around. I trimmed up the middle part, which came in 3 different sets. Came with the wheel part, the middle part, and then the rest of it. Don't worry, I don't know what to call it. But I ended up kind of trimming around. I made a front axle kind of bent with the axle tubing from Hobby Lobby. I kind of bent it to where it looked like a front axle, but I didn't have a straight line going across. I tried to smooth it out as best as I could. Tried to get it to where it was smooth, it looked decent, and I'm kind of glad I went this route because it ended up turning out pretty good. I was going to use some white wall tires, but the way I was wanting to do the front wheels, it wouldn't have worked unless I put a straight axle on it. And I didn't want to do the straight axle. I wanted it to, you know, kind of stick out a little bit on the sides, kind of wanted to bow in, you know, and look like the old school Model Ts would have looked. And those styrene pieces you see me at the beginning, those are actually going to be attaching to the front axle tube portion of it. And it's just kind of for looks. They're not really a functional part or anything like that. It's just made for looks. So, you know, that's the route I went. And honestly, I'm glad I went that route. Too bad it's too big to fit in any cases I got right at the moment. So I got a plan for what I'm going to do to this car. I just got to figure it out. So what I'm going to do, you know, I got the wheels already picked out, some spare wheels that I just had laying around. Nothing's fancy or anything, but I ended up painting the wheels. You know, kind of give it that old school look. Even though the original wheels is what I was planning on originally using, just kind of painting a little bit here and there, make it look like an older model version of it. But when Paul picked the theme hot rod, you know, delivery, yeah, that kind of messed with my idea on that one. So, but no, in a way it didn't mess with my idea, because I was still planning on going the route I went, which was the old school police vehicle, the old paddy wagon. And so I was waiting for some decals for it before I could actually finish this, editing the video and stuff like that, and putting the final reveal on here. And I couldn't wait for the decals to come in, because honestly, they're nothing fancy. Just like back in the day, they didn't really have any fancy designs like they do on the police vehicles nowadays. So the way I went about it, you know, just strictly old school grayish colors with a little bit of rust effect, barn find style Model T. But I ended up modifying the back a little bit by using something a little different than styrene. But I did use a little bit of styrene on it, so it didn't really, it was custom, so it wasn't like completely aftermarket, I should say. It was all custom built technically. You know, I'm just trying to get the edges of the base lined out, because I didn't know exactly how I was going to do the back yet. You know, I was going to try building it straight out of nothing but styrene, but it wouldn't have looked the way I was wanting it to do, because I was wanting it to look perfectly square. And I'll be honest with you, my styrene cutting is not all that great, especially when it comes to cutting straight. So I got a tool that I'm going to be using after this video. If I choose to cut styrene, I just got to make room for it, because it's a big old thing. It's just something I'm going to try to work with. You know, I got one of the big old guillotine paper cutters that, you know, they can cut up to 15 sheets of paper. And thinking about it, some styrene actually is about the same thickness as 15 sheets of paper. So I'm going to give it a try. I'm going to go over some of my older styrene and cut straight lines, you know, just kind of give them a trim to see about what all I can come up with. I have a couple builds coming up. I got a giveaway build, not for the monthly giveaway. It's just a build I'm just doing for a friend of mine, because we're doing a 1-for-1 swap. He's building me a car and I'm building him a car. We'll just swap. So I got that one probably going to be coming up next after this video. I don't know yet. It might come before. It depends on which one I get done first. And you know, I knocked out this video and I'm working on the other one as we speak. But, you know, I'm trying to come up with different ideas. Trying to come up with certain designs that I'm looking for. If anybody's got any ideas, you know, of certain casting they want to see me do, or if I have it, I'll do it. You know, give me some ideas. Throw some comments out there what you want to see me do. You know, I still got that 2-into-1 tow truck build. It's not due until June, so I'm kind of, that one's sitting off to the side. I got the 4 horseman build coming up. I'm still kind of trying to figure out what all I'm going to do with that still, because I got the wheels I want to use for it, but I'm not for sure if I'm actually going to use them for this, the 4 horseman build. I'm thinking about doing another motorcycle build. Still thinking about if I'm going to even use this casting, or I just might steal something from it, because the one I'm looking for has got a really cool engine on it. I might just steal off of it and put it on one of my cars. Yeah, as you see here, I ended up cutting the back half of one of these 18-wheeler trailers, because I already had the swinging doors on it, and I actually thought, just popped into my head at one point, and I'm like, hey, let me give that a try, cut out the wheel wells, go from there, just to see what all I can come up with. And everything went great, the paint went great. I ended up trimming down the windscreen so it doesn't go all the way to the roof. So I wanted it to look a little different than the actual original. I didn't rust up the front grille because I wanted it to stay the same. I'm cutting out the wheel wells. I ended up cutting out windows, and you'll see that here in a little bit. I wanted to go old school look with it, so hopefully I met that standard. But oh no, I think it looks great. That's what matters. I think it looks great. I think it turned out phenomenal. I was really happy with the turnout. Hopefully, it kind of, I don't know, I'm going up against a tough customer with Paul at Diecast Graveyard. He's a great builder. And, yeah, I might have my work cut out for me on that one. I tend to do, like, the customs, like the full-blown different customs, just cutting up stuff, trimming, using a lot of styrene, and I go through a lot of styrene, I really do. And I'm still trying to work on this, well, the only thing is, with that build, I got to get more accurate pictures on the iron, or the, crap, what is the name of that, the armored truck, casting I'm going to be using, because it's an all-plastic casting. Couldn't find any of the metal ones, so I have to use the color shift ones. And we'll have to just see what happens with that. So, I'm still kind of in the works. I got a couple castings just sitting around. Some's unfinished. Some's just laying there. Looks like part of a junkyard around my shop here. And I think I'm really excited for, one of the builds, the surfing, 4 horsemen build, the surf, theme surfing, because I got that sitting around. I got the wheels I'm wanting for it. I got the little pieces that I'm going to be using for it. I'm really excited about doing that one. And hopefully that one turns out. Instead of I was originally going to use a round styrene, tube, stock, or whatever, to make like bars. But I just happened to look over to my side of my table, and I just seen the screen. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do the screen. I was like, I haven't really used screen on any of my builds, and honestly I think it would look good. So I grabbed it up, trimmed it up, glued it on the inside, and turned out a lot better than I was expecting it would. I was really happy with how it turned out. It was a great build, great challenge. Paul's accepted my challenge. He's already told me he's accepted. He's just finding time to get to it. And I understand he's a pretty busy guy. He's got work and a lot of other stuff he's been working on. And I completely understand. His video will be out there, and please, I'm begging you, when you guys get a chance, when his video pops up, you need to go check it out. Because I already know for a fact, with the way Paul is, he's going all out. He might kick my butt. He might beat my butt in this challenge. But, I do what I got to do, and he does what he got to do. And I really enjoy watching Paul's customs, his diecast, his everything that he does. He does an amazing job, and his paint jobs are through the roof. Like, I'm still working on my style paint jobs. I do a little bit different. He's a little bit more professional when it comes to the paint jobs. He's much more knowledgeable about paint. I'm still kind of working the whole candy paint issue. I'm getting better at it. If you guys see my Instagram, I got the Stutz Black Hawk that, is a candy Caribbean blue. It turned out really good. I was really happy with that. And, I'm going to try to get some more candy colors, later on down the road just to give it a try. Because Paul just did a video on, Candy 2.0 from Create Text. And it gave me some ideas about mixing colors and, instead of actually just mixing them together in a cup, actually painting over them. Because candy colors, you can actually, it works better that way. So I'm going to give it a shot whenever I get some different colors in and go from there, mix up my own different styles, whatever I got to do. And, this is what we started off with. This old Kellogg's 1921 Model T. Now, it's a fun casting to do. I wanted to do more, but I just couldn't figure out how I was going to do more, so I just kind of did what I did. I was really happy with how it turned out. I hope you guys like it as much as I do. And without further ado, let's check out the final results. And I'll see you next time at the range.